You are listening to WRULP Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings Community Radio with Global Soul. It is now 9 p.m. on your radio dials, and you're live with Real Talk.
Hey.
Brooke, Ashley, and B. Ash and Milani Joe. And tonight we have our special guest, Mr. Andre Wise.
What's going on?
There's a lot of stuff on this outline about you. You just have such an extensive background. So why don't you tell the people who you are?
What do we want to get into first?
Well, first and foremost, Dre, we go back to like high school.
I came to Savannah in 2005. I still remember the date, January 29th. And I had to actually repeat my senior year because it was so late into the year, and I had classes that wouldn't transfer over. It couldn't, so I had to come back another year, and then that's why I met you. You was a pretty cool person, still is.
I tried my moment.
Yeah.
So
These disclaimers.
we jumped ahead, so we do have to give you all a disclaimer because y'all know how we get down. Let's go.
Okay, so the viewpoints expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of WRUU, its licensed holder, or its staff. The following program contains subject matter and realistic language that some listeners may find objectionable. Listener discretion is advised. Let's continue.
All right, so Dre, there's a lot to you. You know, we talked a little bit about your Navy experience. You're an artist with Hard to Death music group. Really interested in hearing about that because I've been, obviously following you for a while and following your journey in music, and I've just seen how it's transitioned.
Appreciate it.
Like, it's dope, It's good to see someone who actually has the talent pursuing it because not everyone can be an artist. It's a dream. It's a dream of many, but not many actually have what it takes, the drive, the ambition, and you showed all that. So tell us a little bit about that.
I think I would have to say I never would have been doing music if it wasn't for this guy right here, man. My older brother, CEO of Hard to Death. He was that guy when I was younger, and he was born with the passion. So when we was little, he was rapping like seriously, and he was real dope. And I was like, oh man, I could do it too, just because my older brother was doing it. So when he'll pick up a pen and a sketch pad, he'll draw something. I say, I could do it too. My older brother was doing it. So it just got to the point, man. I've been fortunate enough to live life and let life live. And I've been through enough stuff to where I just looked up one day and said, man, I really feel like I could talk about this for 10 albums straight, man. It's been a long life for these short 31 years. So that's just what kind of got me into it, man. And plus, I honestly just can't see myself working for anybody that long my whole life, man. I want to be my own boss. I want to know what it feels like. I done clocked in for people, man. I done held jobs down. I done did the street stuff. People know me from both sides, and it ain't nothing that I glorify. It's just that, now after I done seen how I can make other people money and be a model employee, I want to see, can I be a model boss? Can I be a model artist?
So pretty much your brother was your inspiration to pursue.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now, as a musician, who would you say is your greatest musical inspiration? Oh, you can do an old and a new, because that's a vast category.
I got to say Pop because we grew up listening to him. Like my mama would, she yell in the room, "Turn it down," and we gonna turn it off, and we don't turn it off. We just turn it down. And everybody got their ear to the radio, so it's definitely Pocket's in there. But Boosie, man, he has a song for everything I've ever been through, and everything I've ever been through, I played one of those songs, and I don't know if it helped me see the light of day or it helped me celebrate the situation. He was just Boosie has always been there. When it comes to anybody in the South, especially if you come from my region, you gonna have to give it to that man. It's just what it is.
I'm listening to your accent. Where you from?
Mississippi.
What part of Mississippi?
Picking Mississippi, baby.
Where is that?
Ooh, I'm so glad you asked that. For real, no, Mississippi, Pickens, Mississippi, man. We have a couple of the state is broken down into a couple of sections. The section that Pickens is in is called the Delta. It's a lot of fields and hills and stuff, so it's very country. Yeah, you know what I mean. And yeah, that's where I'm from. But we're like the very corner, like bottom right corner of the Delta, right where Jackson is at.
Wow.
Is that not far from Greenwood?
We ain't close to Greenwood, just but we ain't far from it. But yeah, they in there too. So.
Got you. I knew somebody from Greenwood. He sounded almost just like you.
Yeah.
But he said Mississippi was
I
popping.
don't hear it though. I don't hear it. I go around everybody else and I be like, man, they talk, they talk funny. Like, yeah, I can't hear everybody saying jive, and I was
Right. So what brought you here?
Like I said, I came here in 05 and it was, I've always been exceptional at school. I ain't been no straight A student, but you start getting a little older and you start feeling yourself and smelling yourself and you getting into stuff you shouldn't be getting into. And I had a mom that cared, man, so she saw it, beforehand and tried to get me out that situation, and she sent me here. It didn't go like she planned, I got here and I kind of dabbled into some things, man, but it's smooth though. I graduated high school, I made her proud. I did some things after that. So. And Savannah is like, since that move right there, it became, because I lived here 4.5 years before I went to the military, so it really became that second home vibe. I haven't been here in a few years prior to now, but it's still that second home vibe, man. Pull up and we've been out and about all day, just. Oh yeah, you feeling the vibe, man. It's a lot of culture here, man. I miss it. I love it.
That's what's up. So how did you get into the Navy? How did you come to the conclusion that you wanted to get into the Navy?
You gonna laugh.
Uh-oh.
A commercial.
Really?
Seriously, a commercial.
Like the
So-
ICDC college commercial?
Yeah.
Just do it now.
Yeah, it was like, that's how I was like, you know what? I think I'll just do it now. I'll never forget. I was walking out. I was outside washing cars all day. I didn't have a job, so that was my job. I washed cars in front of my house, and I went in to get a drink of water. Man, I was coming back out. TV was playing a Navy commercial. And I was just, I've never been a person that's been comfortable with mediocre. So I've always wanted to expand myself and see what I've been capable of. And when I saw it, I was just like, that's something that I do. And it was single-handedly the best decision and the worst decision of my life. But yeah, it was. But it was cool though. I'm still here on this, so it ain't break me.
Hey.
So what? We got to break that down. What made it the best decision, and then what made it the worst?
Well, it helped me do what I set out to do. It helped me expand myself. I've traveled to places that a lot of people, unfortunately, won't be able to go to, met people in places that I think if I still go back to this day and we talk for a while, they remember me. So that was the pro of it, but then the con is I'm not with uniformity. I've tried to blend in. Even while the whole 4 years in there, I've heard people say, man, you gotta kind of blend in, man. They gonna keep picking on you until you blend in. And I couldn't, man, because it was he's the blackest one in the room, so you go find me. It's like, he's the most quiet one, so you go find me. Or then you saying something I don't agree with, so I got to give my opinion, and it's like, okay, well, you gonna find me.
Right.
And yeah, that's. But it was. I mean, it gave me as far as like a resume, man. It helped me build that, and it really kind of made me a little bit more of a people's person. You dealing with all different walks of life, man. When I went into the Navy, I was chilling in Savannah with a bunch of people that was from the hood, and then you get there and you meeting this guy that's, from Tokyo, and he speak half a lick of English, man. But he end up becoming one of your best friends, so you kind of learn to adapt to everything and everybody, and learn how to deal with them and embrace them rather than, reject them.
That's what's up. So what did you do in the Navy?
Gas turbine, basically just jet engines, commercial jets. You take a flight, you travel somewhere. Yeah, they operate a couple of the ships, actually a lot of the ships, man. And so I just maintain those, perform preventive and corrective maintenance. just stuff like that, and all the components that came with it. It's no different from a car. It's just a bigger engine and bigger oil filter and stuff like that. So
I'm listening to you talk about that, and we have quite a few friends in different branches of the military,
yeah,
and they talk about the jobs that they do, and I'm like, these are kind of like regular jobs,
yeah.
but it's guaranteed for you because you're
Right.
in the military. So it's like, why don't more people get into the military? So why don't more people get into the military?
Probably because the reason why I consider not going, and several people tried to talk me out of it. We don't know. That's nothing that's not one of those things you can actually hear about and make a decision, or one of those things you can drive around the corner and look over the fence and see what's going on. You actually have to get into it, and once you're into it, it's no half in or half out. It's you either you're gonna do this time in and you make something out of it, or what have we. And so when I was going in, it was people saying, "Oh man, you're gonna go over there, man, and this gonna happen. You're gonna get shot. You're gonna get killed." Can I say that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Cool. So
You just
Hey.
can't say those words right there.
oh, I can't say. Yeah. So yeah, man. And my response was, man, I could, suffer that same fate walking to the store here, and over a pair of Jordans or something, man. And you can't be afraid to live life. That's just something I learned. That's something my late brother taught me with him losing his life, is that I couldn't be afraid to live. For a couple of years after that, I feel like I'm still jumping ahead, but for a couple of years after that, I didn't do nothing but stuff that kind of surrounded that situation. I didn't, I didn't try to better myself for a couple of years, and I had to really think about it. Like, man, you can't stop, you can't slow down. That was, so when I joined the Navy, that's what I set out to do was, not be the guy that I was the day before I joined.
That's pretty powerful right there. I don't want to get into that just yet because, like you said, we're jumping around.
Oh yeah.
As usual.
Right.
Well, like you said, all it took for you was a commercial.
Yeah.
So to the youth, to young children, not young children, but to the youth looking to get into the armed forces. Well, first of all, why the Navy specifically? Did you? But before
that
the
was
Navy,
the
did you?
commercial.
Yeah, it was a commercial.
If it was an
the
Air
Navy
Force
consider.
commercial, you would have went into the Air Force.
Well, actually, after I left the Navy's office, I tried to go into it. Man, the Air Force is like hard to get into, man. For real, you can't be a straight A student. You still they gotta want you. They like the Man in Black, man. So, after I say from the first day they was treating me, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to pull a tooth and nail to get in here. So, and when you live in this situation, like, man, Savannah is known for a lot of positive and negative things. But when you're living into a negative environment, you can't wait. You can't always wait until they want to accept you. You gotta get out of that situation now. And that's what it was. And the Navy, they was just like, hey, come over here, we got you. you wanna do what? Yeah.
That's what's up. So why'd you get out?
Uniformity, man. It's not for me. It's like I don't try to stick out. A lot of people that know me, they'll tell you I'm very opinionated. I'm going to speak my mind, but if I'm agreeing with you, I'm going to sit over there and let you do all the talking because I have nothing to say. And they'll take offense to that sometimes. Like, oh man, you're too quiet, you're not active enough, or you're too involved, you're trying to do too much. You know what? I don't want to be like everybody else. Yeah,
Right.
I just want to be me, man. That wasn't good enough, so I just made the decision to get out. But I did, I really did consider staying in. Because I knew, like, man, there's a lot of things, but then that was that comfortability. Just going back to me, I got so comfortable with the 3 meals that's guaranteed. I know for a fact where I'm gonna sleep. Certain bills I don't have to worry about. Like, man, when I get out, like, how am I gonna do this, man? There's people younger than me that's handling it every day. Just
Yeah. I forgot what I was about to ask. I forgot.
Wow.
I'm sitting over here listening to him. I'm really intrigued because you seem so wise beyond your years. How old are you?
31. That's my last name, by the way.
Yeah. Like
That was just-
that is your last
yeah,
name,
yeah,
no?
I'm just,
The 30 crew. Hey.
It hurts because I actually found my first gray hair the other day. I have to share this. It was depressing because ladies will understand this. You know how sometimes you'll have that one off strand of weave that's like a different color from the rest. So I'm like, okay, it's just a piece of weave that got stuck in my hair. Great, and I started trying to tuck it out,
And it hurt a little bit.
and it was a little painful. So it's
bit.
there, y'all. It's in there. I just braided my hair. I had to.
Embracing it, man.
But yeah, I have
Man,
gray hair. I just turned 30. It's all going downhill.
Yeah, for real, like I was all good, and then I turned 31. I woke up that morning, tried to get out the bed, and my knee popped like. Man. Went to the store then. Stock up on this big day while it's still there. Might need this in a couple of years.
Hopefully not a couple of years. Hopefully a couple of decades.
Man. But I've been. That's real talk. I've been serious about switching my diet. Not just trying. I'm not a health nut, and I like cheeseburgers and stuff like that. So it's not gonna be a total switch. But I'm a lot more conscious of what I'm eating now, for the simple fact that I know, you're not that spring chicken you used to be when you was in your 20s, man. I don't want to look up and I'm 45 and 50 and I'm moving like I'm 70 and 80. So.
Yeah.
I want to start, getting that habit of that routine of eating healthy and getting some form of workout in now. I've been on it.
I'm glad you said that though, because a lot of people still don't follow that routine, and then you're like, man, we all went to high school together. I went out with Kimber the other day, and I had on an outfit. She was like, is that the same outfit from high school? I'm like, yeah. She's like, nobody else is wearing their high school clothes but you. I'm like, listen, I gotta save money.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Right.
That's stunning right there.
I mean, if you
I can't wear nothing from high school. For real.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, you look around at a lot of our classmates and you're like, wow. Anyway, we're not gonna put up the shade tree tonight. Not yet.
Not yet.
But yeah, what advice would you give to any youth looking into joining the armed forces?
Oh man. Honestly, man, you have to know, and you can't be fearful. When I say you have to know, I mean don't just make the decision. Because I know people that, they family did the whole. Everybody was in the military and they got in and they wanted to. Oh, I'm going to do 20 and 3 days in, they ready to go home. Man, so you just got to know what you made for, what you built for, and if you're not, it's okay, because the things that you're built for, I may not be built for. So if you want to go into it, just do the research, man, and you really got to just kind of be able to filter out the BS, because you got to understand, it's like selling a car. They want to recruit you. They have to keep those numbers up, and they gonna tell you what they want you to know. Hopefully you get one that like I had. He kept it real. He told me everything and when I got in there, I seen it all. So I even hit him up on when I, located him on Facebook a couple times. Like, man, you told me this and this happened. So you just got that's the biggest advice, is, man. Whoever your recruiter is, man, just I don't know, man. For real, that's your first line with the military. That's who's gonna set you up for failure or success right there. So, and if you're a recruiter, I'm hoping that you're doing right by them, because man, I done seen people who didn't and they was messed up. Fortunately I had a good one.
Yeah. Now I remember what I wanted to ask. How is it being black in the Navy?
Oh, that's our number one question.
The Navy sense of humor, you got a lot of homosexual jokes and you got a lot of racist jokes. And I think I just learned how to, just deal with it. Just realize what I was there for. I wasn't there to make those friends. And if you say something slick racist, I can come back for you. I can come back hard. I can come back quicker. So, but yeah, to be black in it, man, it's really something different, because people got to understand, man, everybody don't want to salute that flag, man. And there's more than just the simple fact that it's a piece of cloth behind it. And you can't just not salute the flag. You just signed this document, this agreement for however long you did. This is in there, so you have to salute it. So it's like, you know, it's like biting sand, man, to do a lot of things, to compromise a lot of things just to feed your family. That don't make you any less of a person, any less of a woke person. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people we all know in order to get to a lot of places that we have to be in life, or we want to be in life, we're going to have to do a lot of things that we want to do. And I think that was one of those things, like in the Navy, you know, like just that, you don't understand, like, you get caught outside at 8 o'clock in the morning, you out there salute that flag, it's just, man. But, I met a lot of people in the Navy that, at the first hand, I thought, oh man, this guy racist, man, this guy is this, and when in the time of need, when in my specific time of need, man, one guy that came to my aid, he wasn't a black guy. He was the guy that everybody thought was racist. The guy that everybody thought he was just, man, he trying to be black, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. And to this day, man, you know, he calls and check on me. I call and check on him. From right there in Jacksonville, man. That man really helped save my life. He know it. I told him that. He know it. It's just, you know, it's just one of them things, man. That's the good thing about the Navy, though. You never know who you gonna meet, man. You gonna meet the racist white person. You gonna meet the cool white person. You gonna meet the black person who don't even know who he is. And then, you know what I'm saying? That's more sad than meeting the racist white person.
Right.
So, you know, it's just it's the same thing as being black in America, really. Because everything that you got right here in these streets is right there on that ship, right there on that base. They sleeping in the barracks with you, all of that. They serving your food, really. Everything.
So, you want to get into you mentioned something earlier, and Brooke may stop me, but you mentioned something about your brother, your younger brother.
Oh yeah.
You want to get a little bit into that?
As far as what?
I mean, you don't have to give like no specific details, but you know how that really affected you.
Man, well, you know, my brother lost his life to gun violence. He was shot twice in his back. It tore me up, man, because it was what, March 18th, 2012 was a Sunday. And I just talked to him that Saturday, and him, my brother, my cousins, and everything, they had me on speakerphone. I literally, this is the day before I go on vacation. I just got back from deployment, and our last conversation was about him coming to Jacksonville for a while, living with me in Jacksonville for a while, and you know, last thing he actually told me, no making it up, was he loved me. I think that was like one of the handful of times that he told me that. But the last thing he said was when I told him, I said, hey man, tell mama to send you a ticket and I'll fly you back. And he said, bro, I ain't gonna make it. Like that, for real, bro, I ain't gonna make that trip. I was like, all right, well, man, you know, I got my vacation and I ain't coming down there, but, you know, I'll see you later. And that was the last thing he said. The next day I got the call, like, man. So, and then, you know, being that far away from home, and that was another thing why I didn't really see a purpose of being in the Navy. It's like I'm going over here and fighting people I don't even know to protect people that want to do me and my people harm.
Right.
So, like, where is that protection once you get inside this continental, once you get inside this state wall? We can go over here all day and tell these people how to govern them, but we can't clean this up.
Mm.
Yeah, man. But yeah, it did. I mean, it's still one of those things. I don't think you ever really heal from something like that. You learn to cope with it. You know what I mean? It be days where you don't even want to get out the bed, and it be days where it's bothering you, like you don't want to get out the bed, but you just put that mask on and you go at it. You know, I live with it, man.
Well, you know, he got me to thinking about situations. So basically, let's jump into the music because we're getting deep and emotional at this point.
Yeah.
What genre would you consider your music?
I know I'm going to be considered as rap and hip hop, but I don't think that's what I'll be, because I listen to a lot of different music, so I know I'm heavily influenced by a lot of different music, a lot of different genres of music. Aerosmith, The Weeknd, you know, then like I said, Pac and Biggie, and at the same time, Zach Brown band, you know, they country singing and stuff, man. I got all that on my phone right now, and but so I know when I know they're gonna always try to put you in that box, but I don't want to be put in that because I feel like I could get on a country beat and I know I could tell a story. I know I could send you to a place and you're not sitting right here in an office, and I know I can get on a rock and roll beat with the hottest selling rock star right at this moment. That's not just me. That's not me being cocky. That's just me knowing that's the type of music I like. This is naturally what I gravitate to. My brother once told me I was gonna be a great artist because I listen to different music.
Well, I think that's important to be. That's all part of being a true musician, being able to grasp the different genres. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but like years ago, definitely over 6 years, Jay-Z and Limp Bizkit had a compilation album.
It was lit.
So lit,
I think
right?
I still got a few songs on my playlist.
And I did not feel like it got the play it deserved.
Not Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park.
That's who it was. Linkin Park. Okay.
Yeah.
See, there we go. Fact checking. I thought that was just a great example of the importance of combining the genres. Like, you don't know what you're gonna get.
Right.
And that's the fun thing about music. It's experimentation.
Right. But that's the one of the pros about the youth that has the music now is, man, you listen to a lot of these people's artists, man, you got black emo artists now.
Yes.
You didn't have that 10, 15 years ago. And you know, they say that they killing the game, but they paving a whole lot of ways, man. And you've never seen more independent artists and independent business than nowadays. And they ain't scared to take those lanes. They ain't scared to try it. So I think pretty soon if they keep doing what they doing, man, which, you know, I like it, there won't be a genre. You know, and that's the cool thing about it. Why do we have to be classified? Why do we have to be put into a box? I don't want that.
I agree. Who's your favorite one out right now?
Starlito, man, hands down.
Why?
Starlito is that's uncut right there. That's getting the meat before it got to the processor, man. That right there, man.
That
The dude,
analogy.
man, he just nice, and that's what he give you though. But it just be all, you know, man. You got people that's a little, I wouldn't say a little too conscious, but their music is so woke that it don't grasp you. It's like, okay, kind of hype me up a little bit at the same time, and he has that. I think he just has a lane that has kind of subconsciously influenced a lot of people that sticks to that. You know, I don't want to like throw names out there and stuff like that. It's just my opinion. But guys like, you know, Kevin Gates and J. Cole and even his partner Don Tripp, man. When you listen to these guys, you can hear a lot of each other in them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. So.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Oh yeah.
Especially with Gates.
But I like we was riding on the way over here, man. Ball Greasy jamming and Ice Billion man. I don't think he get enough recognition. And in it, pretty much, I ain't gonna tell the story. The guys from SIP, man, everybody talking Ray Schmurd, Big Creek. I listen to all them guys.
Big
man. Oh yeah, Creek don't get so underrated.
Thank you.
Way
Please don't
too
get
underrated,
Well,
man.
I don't know.
Don't
Big
get
Crit
started.
has a pretty dope following. Everybody I know listens to Big Crit, but I mean, I think he's lit.
Love him like a brother.
I think you have to have a certain level of thinking to be able to grasp Big Crit. That
True.
may be what it is right there.
You have to have, you're right, you have to have a certain level of wonder, of questions to even want to listen to these artists, man.
That's true.
And you know, whenever I'm sitting there with a lot on my mind, I ride and listen to Lito for hours, man. He picked my brain more than I pick my own brain. Just be sitting there making me check myself like, man, bro, why you go buy them pair of shoes? You could say them. Yeah.
So since we're talking artists,
Oh,
You're
wait,
an
wait,
artist.
wait. It's 9:30.
oh, we gotta
That
stop.
fast?
We got a good one when we come back for paying the bills. All right,
Oh, wait.
all right, we're off.
And You are now live back with Real Talk on WRUULP, Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings Community Radio with Global Soul. We gotta do this corporate donation as well. WRUU listeners like you crave exploration and discovery. That's how we can offer your business or organization a unique way to separate your name from the clutter inherent in commercial radio advertising. Underwriting on non-commercial WRUU will make your name stand out because we allow only a limited number of sponsors per hour. Your message will be reaching listeners who are actively engaged in programs that demand their attention. Let our team build a customized plan to meet your marketing goals by linking your name to our unique music and talk programs. For more information, email underwriting@wruu.org. Well, next time I read this stuff, I gotta put my glasses on.
And Band-Aid, sorry, I like hit you like 4 paper cuts just now.
It's all good.
All right, so we are back with Dre the Giant.
Oh yeah.
Once again, Hard to Death Music Group. I want you to go ahead and give the people, if you have a website, Facebook page, whatever, where they can look up any of your information.
As honestly as of right, this is really like my first serious push, man. I like dead serious, man. I just said, you know what? I wouldn't just put in 10, 12 hours or something. This ain't the first music I recorded, but you know, just saying like it right now we're still into those stages, but I give me a month or so, man, and it's gonna be everything from Spotify to, you know, Google Play. That's everything that I'm looking into right now. So like, cause like when she offered to put me on Brooke offered to put me on the radio, I was just like, man, I ain't really ready, but I couldn't turn it down. I really
Not
could
at
not.
all.
I could not. I was, man, you don't get an opportunity like this. This ain't like stepping on inch, man.
Just to make it feel that more exclusive, people hit us up every day trying to get on here. You know, I'm talking people that can't even complete a decent sentence, and you want us to sit down and talk with you for an hour. See, the shade just comes out. It's natural.
But that's what happens, though. It's not shaded.
So
it's
you
true.
were chosen, yo. Like you were hand selected.
Yeah, like I told you, man, I gassed up the car to come down here. I had no business, like for real, I had no business in Savannah this weekend. I had nothing to do with Savannah this weekend.
Hey, you had this.
Yeah, I came here for this.
That's what's up. Well, we appreciate you being here.
I appreciate y'all having me. I'm gonna come back every chance I get.
Please do. You're always invited. So, since this is your first big push into your music career, not necessarily saying you haven't been doing it for a while, but when are you going to be performing?
Oh, we was just talking about that.
I'm trying to see a show.
Right.
Really?
And we will travel. We'll go on that road.
Really?
Sure will.
Oh man, I would have to get back with y'all on that, but we was literally just talking about that, man.
Where you
everything.
Where you at anyway? Where you at?
Right. Well, when I leave here, I'm going back to the Virgin Islands. I'll be there for a couple of months. I'll come back.
Girls trip.
Bring it. Come on.
Say no more.
Bring it out.
Right.
But yeah, man, we that's what me and my CEO and producer engineer was talking about over the last couple of days, man. Is getting visuals, getting on stages and videos. Y'all just gotta bear with us, man. We coming with a lot of hot stuff. I promise y'all. It's just that right now, all the gloves is off. I'm gonna be real. Everything is out of pocket, man. And I ain't accepting, you know what I'm saying, nobody's money that's outside of the circle or nothing like that. We just gonna grind it out until it folds over for us. And right, this push right now has been going great. We keep this consistency, which we will. That's what it is, man. So y'all just listen for me, man. Dre the Giant, Hard to Death Music Group. I'm spearheading this thing. We got a lot of people though, man. We got a lot of potential. Y'all just focus on me right now. We got a lot of potential coming out. Yeah.
Like it, stay consistent. No, that's something that a lot of musicians don't understand, the consistency. Like they'll try and be hot, and if it don't pop, then they're just like, oh, I'm done with it.
Well, see, that's why my music is different, because I'm not trying to be anything. Everything that you're gonna hear, a lot of stuff that when you hear it, you're gonna know nobody could have wrote it for me. You can hear the life stories and the life lessons in the song. You can hear the emotion in the song, and so I'm not doing what's trendy. And I'll never be able to do what's trendy because it doesn't sound right, doesn't feel right to me. You know, I don't think I can even do an album if I don't have creative control. You can't tell me what type of songs to put on there. You know, I got booty shaking music. I got songs that are degrade women. I got the first song I'm putting out is called 90s Relationship. You know what I'm saying? That's for women that demand respect. You know what I mean? So I got songs about, you know, being conscious and wake up. I got songs about the police brutality. Then I got songs about, you know, street violence. I got everything that I've ever seen, experienced, and been through. And as long as I keep living, that's what y'all gonna get. So, you know, I'm never gonna just give you my version of this guy's album because he went platinum. It's not gonna be there. I can't do him. I'm only gonna do me. And if I put it out and they don't gravitate to it, then I say, well, man, you know, they really not feeling the conscious side. So, you know, I give them a little less of those songs and a little more of this and put the more of these on the mixtape or whatever. But other than that, it's always just gonna be me. However you get it, it's gonna be me. Nobody's gonna ever. I'm not letting people ghostwrite for me. I'm my own talent. You can't do me.
Hey, I like it. One funny. So, with your music, with your Navy background, how does that translate into community work for you?
Music right now is a side hustle. Like I said, we're launching this. We're getting this off the ground right now, and you know, I don't do no street stuff anymore. I have a job, and I'm proud to say that I'm going to work when I leave here. But yeah, so man, our company, man, the company that I'm with, man, we're providing the gas turbine engines that we was talking about, so that the island of St. Thomas, that's why I'm in the Virgin Islands. They just got hit with the hurricane with Puerto Rico also. And my opinion, you know, not one life is greater than the next, but St. Thomas sustained a lot more damage, and it was a lot less televised.
Right.
So yeah, we're over there. I think that is a great deal of community service. I'm proud to be over there just to help, you know, like really seriously, man. If one of them engines trip and they lose power and I'm on watch, I tend to take it to heart. Be like, man, you know, somebody probably saying they closed to go to work.
Right.
And they can't even finish it because of something that happened or whatever. But yeah, I think that's community service. If anything, for real. I mean, I get a check. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, man,
What you do
I do
for
feel,
that check,
yeah, man. I mean, we work some hours now, for real. But I really do feel fulfilled about it, man. It ain't McDonald's. It ain't nothing wrong with McDonald's. I'm just saying, you working on a multi-million-dollar engine, man. These things $25-30 million. When you can't feel some type of sense of accomplishment about that, then you just hard to satisfy.
Straight up. That's dope. So, how long you been over here in the Virgin Islands?
Couple of months. Moving like they move, you know.
Did you make it in time for Carnival?
I was there for the whole 7 days.
Oh my God, how was it?
Oh, look.
How was it?
If y'all ever go come to the USVI, you gotta get there the third week in April. That's when it's, man, Juve is Wednesday. That's midweek. That's like, I don't know if that's kind of like, what is it when the Catholics, they do like, you know, like, party before
Mardi Gras.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like that, but you know, it's dancing in the streets from before the sun come up to after the sun go down. By the time, like, man, I'm for real, it's a whole different scene when the sun come up. That's what's gonna freak you out, because it's gonna be like, man, everybody in white t-shirts and you got this, you know what I'm saying, glow sticks and stuff, and then the sun come up, people covered in paint and stuff and all type, but it's just this whole, like, for real, man, a couple of miles worth of people. And there's just these trucks that's carrying these stages. Every so often, there's about 15 stages maybe, and there's a different band on each one. There's a different sound, and these people is dancing different because this sounds like this, and these people around this stage is dancing different because it sounds like this. And then every girl gonna walk backwards you know, dancing, twerking and stuff. They gonna walk backward. They just be waiting for somebody to get behind them. So I had a lot of fun. So I had a lot of fun.
I
I had a lot of fun, man. For real. I'm counting days down.
Oh man, we gotta make
That's lit. That's
Yeah, and then adult parade, that's something to see. Children's parade, all of that. It's something for everybody. So if like you gonna come, it can be a girls trip, family trip, whatever you want it to be. It's,
I take my kids and make sure the grandparents is there because they.
oh yeah, cause the music ain't gonna stop playing. They gonna stop at like 4 in the morning. Gonna start back up at like 6:30.
Oh my God, that sounds like so much fun. What have you learned from the outing culture?
Oh, patience, man. I'm still learning it though. You from here, man? You got 4 lanes, and you know it's so much. The United States is built on convenience. That's why we have a gas station at every store. That's why there's a Waffle House on every block. Because people want to get to where they need to go with the least amount of hassle. But there, man, you got folks, man, the light will turn green, and they just seen such and such walking down the street. They ain't finna go till they speak to such and such. And you gotta go to work, man. You like, for real, though, you got somewhere to be, man. So, but you can't get mad and start shouting. I mean, you really are these people's home. It's like when in Rome, do what the wrong. Everybody does it. They do it in front of the police. The police do it. It's
I
like,
literally
so,
just got irritated right now just imagining
Right.
myself in that scene. Like, I could not.
Because we all.
I'd be in jail. Like,
yeah,
I'm the most impatient person on the road you'll ever meet.
but they some very nice people though, man. They some real like this is the only place I've ever seen where folks just give strangers a ride. I'm not giving you a ride, man. I'm riding past you. It's too much stuff going. See, it's too much stuff going on in the state.
Straight
And
up.
they got crime over there, but at the same time, I guess it's just like, hey, you know, I went to school with you.
It's all
In the
good.
States, it's like, yeah, I went to school with you, but hey, I don't know what you've been doing the last
Right.
10 years. Like,
Exactly. In
you
fact,
know?
when I went to school with you, I didn't trust you.
Yeah, they trust you in. So patience. I think that's been the most thing. But the culture is very real, man. And it's something to experience. And what I've learned is, you know, the St. Thomas culture is a little different from, you know, St. Croix's culture, which is a little different from St. John's culture. So they all have a lot. They all have something collective as far as the Virgin Islands go. But then there's island specifics also. It's a lot to check out.
So you island hop. Then.
I love it.
You know.
You just down there having a lot of fun.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, man, wait, man. At some point in life, you gotta learn that, man. If it ain't, if I can't change it, smile about it.
Right.
And I'm here, so I ain't finna sit here and be like, oh man, I miss my family. I really do. Every day, you want to see my nephews and nieces, but I'm here.
Right.
So until I'm here, I'm gonna do everything I gotta do to keep a smile on my face and keep doing what I'm doing, man. I'm gonna live life, man.
And honestly, the best thing you can do for your nephews and nieces is continue to live. So they see you as an example.
Oh yeah.
You know, where they want to go.
Oh yeah.
How do they feel about you being down there? Your family.
Well, my nephew, man, he's 8, 9 months. So as long as he got something to chew on, he's straight. But, for real, and he like car rides. But my niece, I really haven't talked to her about it. She was happy to see me when I saw her the other day. We sat and talked for a minute. She told me she missed me several times, but she didn't say she, you know, anything like she want me to go back or anything like that. I think she probably asked me to buy or something, bring something back. But you know, that was it. That was about it.
What about your parents and your brother?
This guy, man, is my best friend, man. We fought so much when we was little that, you know, over the last decade or so, the worst we'll do is disagree, go separate ways 5 minutes, and then we back chilling. So I already know he feel like I feel, man. I call him, if not every day, every other day when I'm over there. So I know he feel like, man, I after losing a brother, man, you gotta put eyes on your siblings every now and again. And I'm the one that when I go home, I don't call home often. It's just kind of nature. Like I'm over here doing me, so bam. But yeah, so I always make sure to call him, man, if nobody else, man, because that's that guy that even when we was separated, it wasn't nothing but a phone call, and one of us was pulling up on the other. I'm talking states away and everything. My mom, man, she couldn't be happier, man. I know she missed me, and I know she wish I was around to do the stuff that moms make kids do.
Yes.
But but yeah, man. At another time though, I feel like she know what the bigger picture is, and then she know what I came from, and the stuff that I had to go through to get here. So yeah, she ain't looking for me to just go hold like that too soon.
Right. That's what's up, though. I mean, you sound like you made a complete 180 from your younger days. So you're an inspiration to your family. You know, it's a relief for sure.
I mean, anything you do like that when you changing though, it's not that point when you make the change. It's every day. You know, I stopped smoking November 16th. Stopped smoking cigarettes November 16th, 2016. And yeah. So, but you know, I don't tell people I quit smoking cigarettes on this day. I always tell them I haven't had a cigarette since this day, because every day there's some days that now I be like, man, I just tell myself, I bet I can smoke a cigarette and I could go not do
right.
Yeah, be straight.
Don't do it to yourself.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. It just pops in my head. It's not
Right.
something I force myself to think. But then there are other days where, you know, I don't think about it, so I know it's a battle because I know I could easily slip.
Right.
I don't think I don't remember, but I don't think I intended to start smoking cigarettes in the first place. That was just that easy slip. So yeah, I ain't going back to it though.
That's what's up, though. Congratulations.
Oh yeah, it's a compliment. I brag about that one.
Hey.
To be real.
I'm really surprised you ain't around here with like the belly going on, cause my stepdad.
Look at the
He
face
used
he
to
made when
be
you said
your
that.
size, no lie. He quit smoking cigarettes when he was like 35, 38. He was like, I was walking around the park one day and something told me, you gotta stop smoking them cigarettes. If you smoke another one, you're gonna die. He said, I just bought a fresh pack and threw them all in the trash. And that was the last day Frank smoked cigarettes. You see how big Frank is.
But that was around the time that I made the decision to watch my health and stuff, because I knew that, you know, when smoking cigarettes, it plays a part on your weight and your health. And I knew that, you know, your body is designed to regenerate and heal itself. So once I took that away from it, then now it could start that regeneration process, and it was going to add all this weight on and stuff. I don't think I weigh anymore now, but I know it's coming. So yeah, I try to do a little walk in the sun every night, eat a Subway and say a little something.
You know, as long as you don't have to like lay down on the ground and we roll you down the street, I think you're good.
Nah, I ain't doing that. Yeah, I sell the car keys, ride down the street.
Yes.
So speaking on culture, what you moved to Savannah from Mississippi.
Right.
So, and then you said the population in Pickens is less than 1,500 people.
Yeah, it's small. It's a town.
That's insane to me. That's the current population?
Probably.
Is that probably
It might
like-
be less. I don't
Oh
know.
my, that's good. So like, okay, to me, coming from DC to Savannah, it was like,
Small.
yeah, it was like a joke, honestly. When I first went to the mall, I literally cried because I was like, where are the stores? Like, when I first moved down here, they didn't even have a Macy's. I was like, Ma, you hate me. You have to. So me moving down here, like, you know, obviously I've adjusted over the years, and Savannah has a lot more to offer than the mall. You know,
Right.
I was a kid when I moved down here. How were you able to... Was Savannah bigger to you? Obviously, it's bigger than you.
Oh yeah, man. You know how many times I got lost, man? For real.
In
But
Savannah?
yeah.
I mean, that
But-
sounds irrational, but Savannah's a difficult city to maneuver. In DC, our streets, alphabetical order, baby. You know exactly where to go. Savannah, you got Mississippi next to Alabama. What is this? Where am I? Like, you'll never
I
know.
always thought that was a little weird, but I was like, I stay off this side of town anyway, so.
So how were you able to adjust?
Actually fairly easy though.
Yeah.
There's this notion that like city slickers outthink country boys, and I
Not true.
honestly think I proved that wrong. I think almost every day I lived in Savannah. And I was hanging. You know, it was the older guys, man, that was 3 and 4 years older than me that I was hanging with, and there was the guys that was 20 years older than me that was giving me knowledge, but it was the guys that was my age that they was looking at me like, man, how you do this? Or how you make this happen? You know, that's so I really think I don't think it was that much of an adjustment. I think I had to get used to most was the fact that I didn't know anybody, man, because I'm a very vocal person. I'm not just a people's person, but nobody wants to just sit there and you don't want to be in a place where you don't know anybody.
Yeah.
So I would see a group of guys and I'd be like, you know what, I'm finna go see what these guys about. And I walk halfway over there and say, you know what, I don't know what type of problems they carrying with them. Let me go back over here and watch a little while longer. That was probably the biggest thing. I met this man, my brother from another, but blood couldn't really make us any closer, man. And I met him here. And it's guys that, you know, I was in kindergarten with, and I know him to this day, and we cool. But me and this guy, man, that's my brother. That guy come, man, I'm dropping everything. It's other guys, you know, y'all call, hey, bro, if I get off the clock, man, in time, I got you, man. But look, he's for real. But yeah. And but so, I mean, I don't know. I don't think the adjustment was that difficult. I think I'm pretty well adjustable. You put me in any situation, I'm coming out.
So what's the do in Pickens?
Go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. Put your clothes on. Go somewhere else. For real. And if you wearing white, you want to put your clothes on somewhere else. And man, that wind blowing that dirt get on you, it's over with.
Oh my God.
Wash your car, man.
So what kind of trouble was you getting into out there?
The country.
You ain't gonna push me. That's just it. You ain't gonna push me and think you ain't gonna get pushed back. That's just all to it.
Yeah. So you and I go in all the time on Facebook about law enforcement. You know I was going in.
Yeah.
I wish we would have went there about 2 years ago. We could have got real deep. About law enforcement specifically.
Yeah.
You know, about racial issues all the time. So, as a black male,
Okay.
what does the 4th of July mean to you?
A family get together, some good cooking, people I ain't seen in a long time. You know, back when I was smaller, it was fresh outfits, stuff like that. But now, if I ain't going nowhere, I ain't gonna put on no clothes. But yeah, that's what it's always meant. I didn't understand patriotism until I got into the Navy. And even then, even when I understood it, that was one of those things that was uniformity that I didn't, you know, dabble in. I've always, you know, there's a lot of people that's in my neighborhood that's in gangs, and I've always said, well, you know, a gang didn't do nothing for me specifically, so I didn't get into one. And that's how I looked at patriotism. Like, yeah, man, y'all didn't fight for me, man. Y'all fought because if y'all lost that war, y'all was gonna lose this land, and that's what it was. So, you know, I mean. Don't get me wrong, I serve with a lot of different people from different walks of life, different cultures and colors, that to this day I still consider my armed forces brothers and sisters, but it wasn't about the flag, it wasn't about the patriotism behind it. It was about because at the end of the day, we on this ship surrounded by water, and I gotta have your back to make it home, and you gotta have mine to make it home. And when you get that in your, you know, in your mind, you gonna become closer. Even to that racist person, you gonna become a little, because that person you gonna look at, it's gonna be heated moments or something it might not be the biggest casualty in the world, but it's a problem nonetheless. And that's the first person that showed up down there to help you, or you was the first person that showed up down there to help him. And it was 15-20 minutes before anybody else showed up. So you gotta imagine, like, y'all getting the job done down there, and y'all looking at this man, you can't stand Trump, he love him. You know what I mean? But y'all down there, y'all best friends right now, because if you don't, all hell breaks loose.
There you go.
We're walking a thin line. But
I looked at but it's not up there.
No flag on the plate and stuff.
the line is thin.
But that's real though. I mean, when your life is on the line like that, you stop looking at the differences.
Oh yeah.
And I think if we get to a place like that in America, where we just stop looking at the differences and realize that our lives are on the line, literally. Our livelihood, everything.
I'm not gonna get too far into that, but I've always asked people, man, because we're the only country that has this level of division within the country. And you know, other countries are divided, but it's the this side of the fence and that side. Well, in the States, you have this group, that group, this group, that group. And I always just wonder, like, when we done destroying ourselves, who gonna come and take over? Because we gonna be too weak to fight the next entity, Russia, China, whoever.
Right.
Antarctica, if they ever get a baby, you know what I mean?
Antarctica's going in.
All the polar bears.
Yeah, but we just sat here and killed half of each other, man, and we then burnt this place down, and we took siege to this place, and the rest of the world just sitting back watching and marvel because they know every time y'all hurt each other, every time y'all doing this within this country, man, y'all just getting it closer for us to come in and take over. That's what we've done since the beginning of history, and I don't think history repeating ourselves. I think history is just kind of collapsing on us now, and like we're about to get everything that we done dished out. I think it's we could change, but if we like you said, if we don't look up and realize the bigger picture, that's what it is. Because everybody else is only arming up. And everybody else you look up, they making advancements in technology, advancements in medicine, advancements in weaponry, and the States is still killing unarmed people.
Yeah. Speak on it. We look at the relationship with North Korea. I see that a lot, and they had all the media about Trump saying how he wishes his people would salute like that, but I see them strengthening. Before we used to laugh at them, and now they're strengthening their economy, their military, their currency. China is as well. China is becoming a world leader.
And let me ask you something.
Yeah.
When you're that guy that's trying to build up, who are you building for? You never building for number two. You never going after number two. You never said I want to be strong enough to beat number two. You never said I want to build a bigger stick. They're gonna be. You going for number one.
Exactly. That's a good point. So we gotta be mindful of like what's going on. We just so much division.
I mean, another problem we have is social media. Like, my mom told me this when I was like 12, and I didn't pay any attention to voting and stuff like that. I couldn't vote. But she was like, the reason why we get all these attacks is because we post everything on CNN. Anything that's going on in this country, you can pop on CNN. Any satellite can pick that up. We're giving away our secrets.
Yeah.
So that's why we're such an easy target, for one. And then, like you said, we have no unity. We're a huge divide.
Oh, yeah.
It's supposedly the most culturally diverse place on the planet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The birthplace of true freedom, man, and you got to pay for it.
Exactly.
Everybody paying for it. Some with their lives.
Some with their lives.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's I think, but we all know that's a broad topic, man, because there's never just that one thing that that plays a problem when it's something like that. There's more, we can also look at ourselves. We have no humility. Nowadays we think everything a joke in the game, man. We make a meme out of, people get killed and it get put on, and next thing 24 hours later it's a meme about that person on social media, and it's like, that ain't cool.
I don't like the fact that they're videotaping people's deaths.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
There's a certain level of respect, or even, I don't like what they're doing. I know this is like a Puerto Rican thing, kind of, from what I've seen. How they're doing like the super extra funerals where they're like, I'm like, am I the only one to see?
Wait a minute.
Well, like they prop him up on the motorcycle or something.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
you don't think that's a bit much?
Yeah, that's
That must be a Puerto Rican thing.
Yeah, it is, because they.
I seen a couple of black people though.
Really?
Yeah, the dude was in the Cadillac. He like he was a pimp or something.
Nah.
Too bad we don't have time to pull this up right now.
Man.
No, we like to fact check.
I'm for real.
That's insane to me. Like, there's a certain level of respect you should have for the dead. The deceased. But I mean, we like respect for everything these days, so it's just.
Yeah, man, that's a plague though, man. You gotta have some a level of morals, man. You gotta have someone that say, man, this ain't what I'm cool with.
Right. Well, as usual, we're running out of time, so before we leave, Dre, shout out your Instagram. Tell us if you want. What's one thing you want everyone to take from this conversation we've had tonight?
Man, follow your dreams. The hardest thing to do is put your foot forward, man. But after that, just maintain the consistency. You gonna get to where you gonna be, man. Nobody is gonna get there in 2 minutes, 2 seconds, 2 days, 2 hours. But we gonna get there. That's it. That's what I'm doing.
Well, thanks again for coming,
I appreciate y'all.
sir. You are listening to Real Talk. We're out. WRUU-LP Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM. WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings, community radio with global soul.
Good night.
Adios.